Hey, everybody, welcome to Friday Fun Live. This is Bonnie, and I'll be right back. Just 1 second. All right. Ta-da! I told you so. Having a little trouble with my printer and just wanted to make sure I had my notes all printed out so that we are ready to roll for Friday Fun Live. Thank you all for waiting so patiently and for joining me. I just look forward to this time of the week, all week long. I just really enjoy being with you all. There we go. Get that even. All right. Well, let me go ahead. Got lots of things to well, a couple things, a few things to show you. Before I get into that, let me just greet some of you all who've been waiting here so patiently. Kelly, thank you so much for being there. Congratulations on the weight loss. Um, Wish you the best on there. I mean, it's always good for health, and that's something that I need to start working on a little more seriously myself. Again, just for the heart health, I need to get that under control a little bit. Um, and Brad's mom, so thank you for being there from sunny and cool Southwest Chicago suburbs. And thanks again for that reminder. Hit that thumbs up button if you can. Yeah, it's a little cool here today in Maryland. It's like 59, 60 degrees, but it feels like in the lower 50s here. Back to long sleeves. We had our air conditioning turned on, and obviously the air conditioning hasn't kicked in probably in a week or so. So that's doing well. Go ahead and turn that off. Um, I'll get to that question in just a second, Hannah. And again, thanks again, Linda, for that thumbs up reminder. Angie, good morning to you and love to craft, raving right back at you. Um, and this is fun to see you all greet one another in the chat. And Kelly says she's busy crocheting a doily with prim roses on each side of the doily. Excellent. I would love to see a picture of that, Kelly, when you get a chance. And Wanda Gordon says, good morning to everyone. And gorgeous day, North Carolina. God is so good. Yes, he is. Be heading that way in about a week or so, Wanda, which reminds me, one of the things I needed to let you know is I'm not sure what my plan is for next week, but I will not be live on Friday. There's a chance I might do it on Thursday, but I don't know. It just depends on our preparation for the trip and whatnot. We're going to be going to visit um, my little grandson and his parents in Virginia, and going to be enjoying that for a little while. And then we're going to drive on down to Lancaster, South Carolina, in case any of y'all are familiar with that area, for a family reunion on my husband's side. That'll be really nice to do, to catch up with his side of the family. And then from there, I'm going to be back in South Carolina for a couple of weeks. I'll be working there as well, but again, be patient with me if you're corresponding, waiting for an answer from me. I'm going to be a full-time caretaker like Hannah is, and I'll be doing the crochet stuff on the side where I can. There's usually a lot of sit-in time with her, which is a good thing, which means I need to get some projects just to sit and work on. But as far as concentrating on, a lot of the writing and other things that have to get done, that's a little harder to do when you're full-time trying to look after somebody. And those of you who care for others know what I'm talking about. Those who don't worry about it. Your day may come. But it's a privilege to be able to do such a thing. I'm going to be giving Hannah a much needed break. And let's see. And we have Bobby in the chat. I saw Bobby's comment. Bobby, definitely will be praying for you. Cellulitis, that's not anything to trifle with. So make sure you take your medicine, my friend, and get over that infection as soon as you can. I will be praying for you, and do message me, okay, and let me know how things are going. Thank you, Kelly, for caring for Bobby through prayer. I appreciate that. I know he does too. And Alana says, good morning to y'all. Best to those not feeling good today, and best to all having a fine day. Well, thank you, Alana, for a kind greeting. And Kelly wants to know if I was going to do a drawing today. Not today. I'm sorry. I don't have anything to give away right at the moment, but I am in conversation with another friend of mine who also happens to be a crochet author. I'm not going to say any more, but I'm in dialogue with her to see if she wants to sponsor kind of a giveaway of some of her work. She's coming out with a new book, and I'll go ahead and tell you her name, Karen Hooley, in case it's Whooley. So we're kind of trying to work out the details on that. So stay tuned. Maybe in a couple weeks, I will have something for you. Um, let's see. But thanks for asking on that. And I hope you enjoy your Burger King, Kelly. That'd be great. Um, and let's see. Phil says, "Good morning from Beaver, Utah. On my way back to South Dakota. After that, I am taking a load of honey to Pennsylvania, and then home for vacation. Much needed break from the road. Good for you, my friend. But yeah, that honey, yum yum. We oftentimes drive up, when we're out on, kind of a weekend drive. You just have to get away to unwind a little bit. And yeah, actually a stand right across the border, because Pennsylvania and Maryland share borders, just right across the border. We go up there to get actually blueberry honey that's locally grown there, and it's really yummy. Um, Love supporting the different farm stands that are up there, and the ones in Maryland too. There are some places around here that are really, really good. Um, and Wanda says, "Ooh, honey, nice, safe trip, Phil, and enjoy your vacation." Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And good afternoon to you, Karen. And Phil says, "I'm looking for your Aaron throw pattern, but not seeing it on your Lovecraft store. Is it only in a book? And if so, which one is it in?" It depends on which one you're looking for, Phil. Is it because there are some, if it's the one that's one of the more popular ones on my YouTube channel, if it's the Celtic cabled throw, that's actually owned by Annie's, which is now called Annie's Addict, and you'd have to get the written pattern from them. If it's the Aaron, if it's one of the throws from my Aaron Afghans leaflet, then those are owned by Leisure Arts. So it's probably one of those two, either the Winter White or the Celtic Cable Throw. Again, those are owned by other publishers. It Just send me a photo of what you're looking for, and I can give you further guidance. Just email me, bonniebay@me.com, and I can get back with you on that. Um, yeah, I do have others in books, and some that are in books and available as PDF. So it really depends on on the ones you're looking for. Alrighty. Um, we have Diane in the chat today from New Jersey. Welcome, Diane. And let's see. And Phil, again, talking with Wanda, says, "I have a few days at home before I am headed to Florida to visit family in Palm Harbor and Kissimmee." Ooh, I know where those places are. Might stop in Ocala to visit my cousin too. I actually have some land in Ocala left from my parents. So, wow, very, very nice, Phil. I need to get back home to Florida at some point. I would love to visit my home state again. My birth state, I guess I should say. I don't live there now, but that's where I grew up. Alana, good to have you in the chat. Ola Joe, welcome, welcome. And thank you, Wanda, for praying for my girl Hannah. And everybody's so fun here. And DL Crisp says, "Greetings from Southern Oregon." And Ola Joe says, "Ta-da, love it. Happy Memorial Day weekend." Thank you, Ola Joe. You just prompted me on another one of my notes that I had to run over and get at the beginning of the broadcast. I wanted to let you know this is the first time I'm doing this. So this is kind of an experiment. I'm having an Etsy Memorial Day sale on my Etsy page. I do have that link in the video description. Okay, I'm not pushing or pressuring anybody, but if you're looking for certain patterns that you've wanted to get and you've held off, this might be the time. I'm offering 25% off everything in my shop. I've never done this before. No coupon code needed. It will automatically, or should automatically, happen at check out. If it doesn't, contact me. But everything today, which is May 23rd, tomorrow, Saturday, I say tomorrow, which is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which is Memorial Day, May 26th, 4 days only. Everything, yeah, including my books that I ship out, are 25% off. That's the lowest I've ever offered anything. It's just an experiment to see how this works. Um, Again, no pressure, but if you're looking for a discount, this is, I think, the most I've ever given as a discount, is 20%, and that is only for, let's say, newsletter people, a long time ago. So I thought, let's go ahead and stir things up and try that. And I do want to wish everybody also a happy Memorial Day weekend as we remember those who have fought for our freedom. And because of their sacrifice, those who gave all, we are able, some gave some gave all. We are able to live, at least in the United States, in liberty and in relative freedom. That's something that I think most of the known world today does not enjoy. Even today, they don't enjoy the luxuries that we have of being, free, to have our opinions, to do what we want to do. Um, it We really are blessed if we just step back, turn the news off for a little bit, and meditate on all the good things that we have. And a lot of it is due to other people have that we will probably never know, laying their life down forever for us. So, it'd be a good time to pause and just really give thanks, this weekend. And yeah, so it's a wonderful time to remember. Also, I know this is, not, this is not more important, but just kind of aside to that, those of you who are motor racing uh, enthusiasts like our family is, it's also a big weekend because we have the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte with the NASCAR. And before that, we have the Indy 500 running out of Indianapolis. And yeah, we'll be busy, enjoying and relaxing, probably crocheting as we watch both of those events. We have a we have favorites in both of those. I know that sounds weird. We're supposed to be talking about crochet. Well, yeah, but we're not all one trick ponies, are we? We have multiple things that we enjoy in life, and for our family, that's something that we really, really have enjoyed, getting to know the different drivers and whatnot. Okay. And Hannah is asking some questions. She wants to know, are the signed books on sale? Yeah, 25% off. What's wrong with that, right? What could go wrong? I do have a limited numbers of copies, but yeah, I will sign them and send them out. And this is, again, primarily, I only ship to the US. If you want me to ship to your country, you have to contact me personally, because I know the shipping costs are going to be very expensive, and it's probably much easier to just obtain copies um, in your country, from Amazon or wherever. Um, and Hannah sent another question. What's a recommendation of a crochet pattern that someone with Parkinson's can do? Hmm. Well, I am not a medical expert, so that would be a really hard question to ask, but I'm going to try anyway. It depends on your level of Parkinson's, just how much of the tremor that you have. But what I would recommend is something with large openings. For example, my easy granny square baby blanket that's crocheted in a continuous granny square, because you have very large openings. So you just put 3 stitches in a very large opening. You're not trying to hit a particular stitch. I would recommend something like that. And you don't have to sew anything together. That might be a good place to start. And if you're good with that, try something a little more complex. But yeah, but again, I would, talk to somebody maybe who might know you better. But I would stick with something that doesn't require a lot of precise hook placement. Maybe that would work for you. I actually do have a blanket coming that might work. Let me go ahead and show you this. I had a picture on Facebook the other day with this, but I'm coming out with this. I'm hoping to be. coming out with it Monday, but I'm still waiting to get it back from my tech editor. So it might be later in the week, next week. But this is a very easy beginner baby blanket. I'm calling it Squared and Beautiful. For a, it's just fun because you have solid crochet in the corners, but then you have, something hinting at the granny square along the sides and also in the center. And I used, oh, do I have the yarn nearby? Of course. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have the yarn back here. I do. Yay. Yeah. Here we go. Funny story. I have had this sitting on my table to show you for the last couple weeks, but because I didn't write it down on my notes, I completely forgot. But this is a more of a delicate feel. It's not a thick baby blanket. It's more of a delicate baby blanket. And it just took one of these, the Lion Brand Mandala baby yarn. And I even had this much left over. So I could even possibly make a small baby blanket or like a newborn cap with the leftovers. So yeah, these are really fun. And the colorway that I used is called Narnia. Let me tell you a little bit about this yarn. I really do like this yarn. I've used it in a number of different projects. Um, 590 yards, 540 meters. It is the number 3 or DK weight yarn, which means it's thinner. It's 100% acrylic, machine, washable, and dryable, which is a wonderful thing for baby blankets. So I'm calling this easy beginner. Easy, and you can see the shell trim. Easy beginner, squared, and beautiful. It was actually inspired by an antique doily. I changed it up a little bit though. It's not an exact duplicate. Didn't want to do that. Um, and besides, crocheting with thread and crocheting with yarn are very different. You get very different results even with the same stitching. So yeah. So I did show you that. Oh, I'm getting through my list already. Wow. Well, let me go ahead and get back to some of these other things. But thanks for the prompt, Ola Joe, about Memorial Day weekend. That all that came from your prompt. And Josie says, "Good morning from sunny Northern California. Hope everyone is having a wonderful week. God bless you all. Bonnie, I love your ears." Oh, thank you. You like my crochet hooks? Of course, they're boy hooks because this is really funny. I'll take it off and show you. I've had these a long time. This is the hook, and it's a boy hook, which I like wearing as earrings because it doesn't catch my hair. It doesn't catch in my hair the way I think a Susan Bates would catch my hair because I feel like it's better suited for yarn. Anyway, just those of you who know me understand that. So it's a personal preference. Colleen Rose has a question about her crocheting. Why does her work come out so tightly? And can she do anything about it? Um, yes, yes. What I would recommend is I would first want to check your yarn hold. How are you holding your yarn? Are you allowing the yarn? Do I have a sample here? Are you allowing the yarn to flow easily through your hands? Not too loosely, but it sounds like you're holding onto it really tightly. You might want to relax that a little bit. The other thing is feel free to change hook sizes. Whenever you see a hook size, either on a video or in a written pattern, it's not law. It's what the designer used to make what they are making. And that goes for a written pattern and for a video. Now, we all have variations in how we hold our hooks, how we hold our yarn, um, and uh, and the results that we get with the different tools. Another thing you can do is try using a different hook. Um, do I have my hooks with me? I I have Well, I'll just be brief about this. The way the 2 different major hook styles, and I'm talking primarily the inline, which is I've got them over here. All right, hold on. I'll get a sample. Ah, okay. Um, the way okay, you have 2 different types. Okay. Okay. This one will be easier to pull out. Okay. Let's see if you can see these. Okay, this is a Bates hook, and it's called inline because the shaft does not change size. It's all the way, I mean, it's straight. And this hook part is just notched out of a straight tube or, cylinder structure. Okay. The okay. This hook is a boy hook, Boye, and you can see that that is not the case here. This actually, as you go up here, narrows. Okay, it narrows all the way around. It changes shape, changes size right up in here around the throat of the hook or the neck, upper neck part of the hook. Okay. Um, if you're using a boy hook, try using an inline. There's that popular brand, Susan Bates. There are other brand names out there that use this style, but the Susan Bates are the most readily available. So I would suggest trying that because, again, the neck does not narrow in the same way. So try that. Again, the grip on the yarn, maybe loosen that a little bit. And if that doesn't change anything, change the size of hook. If it's calling for a G hook, go up to an H or an I hook and see if just using a bigger hook, that will help you. But, there are some other things, you might want to, look at as well. So that's my long answer to your question. I hope that's helpful. Um, okay, repeat the name of the doily, please. And I'm not sure I understand that question. Maybe I'll read further down into the chat here and I can get to that. Millie, welcome all the way from Scotland. Wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Would love to visit your country. My sister absolutely loved, that was her favorite place to go in the world, just to let you know. And she only got to be there for a part of the day, but oops, she's just digging in, trying to get in touch with me right now, actually. And Val, welcome all the way from Texas. And let's see, Brian says, watching from Newfoundland, Canada. Wow, excellent. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to be coming up to your neck of the woods, not to Newfoundland, but to PEI. Let me go ahead and put a plug in for that. Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival, October 23rd through 25th. That's this coming fall. Delta Hotels, Prince Edward, 18 Queen Street, Charlottetown. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me give you a quick rundown of the classes I'm going to be teaching there. Introduction to crocheting post cables, crocheting beautiful trims and borders, and this is primarily, learning the the uh, the crochet stitch. I mean, crochet stitch. Come on, the cable stitch, the knurl, low front ridge, arrow stitch, stitches that can be used for trims and borders. And I'm also teaching a brand new class. I taught it to the Watch channel folks a while back, but it's Introduction to Reading Crochet Patterns and Stitch Diagrams. And I promise by the end of the class, you will be able to read crochet patterns. Maybe not every one, because not all crochet patterns are written that well. But you will understand the lingo a lot better. You'll be able to understand the crochet patterns better than you can understand a teenager's text messages. How about that? I will promise that much. Boy, I'm getting bold. Multiple ways to crochet ribbing and 3 ways to crochet braided cables. All of those at the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival, October 23rd through the 25th. And right now, Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival in Pittsburgh, PA. Actually, it's right outside the city proper. And it's August 22nd through the 24th. And I'll be teaching several classes there. I'm going to be teaching transforming denim with crochet. Ooh la la. Yes. Celtic weave and beyond. Multiple ways to crochet ribbing and making a technology watch band. Yes, we're going to crochet a watch band that you can put onto your iPhone. I can't say iPhone or iPhone. I mean, I watch. I can't say that in the publication because it's yeah, owned by Apple. But if any of those technology watches that you have like this, I'm going to show you how you can crochet, and we're going to make and take that with us during the class. Fingers crossed, it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's coming up. All right. I think I'm up to snuff with Hannah's questions. I don't understand what about the doily question, unless you're talking about the baby blanket. Yeah, the name of okay. I'm connecting the dots now. I'm sorry. I was inspired by a doily that I found uh, at an antique store. I don't it not a pattern. I was not copying a written pattern of any kind. Just to be clear, it was just a doily that I found in an antique store. Okay. Sorry about the confusion, you all. I'm having to think on my feet. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I understand it now, Hannah. Thank you. I just I wasn't firing on all cylinders in my mind right there. Okay. Oh, Swati, so good to have you in the chat. She says still recovering from my latest surgery, but happy to be here. We will just continue to pray for healing, my friend. Take your time getting better. I was gonna say exploit the time if you can, because as women, oftentimes we're serving others, and if you can get someone to pamper you a little bit, friends, whatever. Friends of Swati, pamper her, please. Take care of your friend. Um, and Jen, welcome from Illinois. And is it Racine? Good morning from Texas. And Rima from Brooklyn, New York. Wow. And Donna says, hi from Maryland. Too, yay, watching as I skirt our fleeces. Wow. Wow, you're deep into the fiber world there. And yeah, we'd be fun to find out where you are in Maryland. I'm assuming you were at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival then, if you have sheep. Wow. And Trish says, hi, Bonnie. I'm working on the Aaron Square cable throw square. You graciously replied back to me, I'm starting with braided cable. Wow, it's a little tough, but all things pretty are. Yeah, if it's yeah, especially the crocheting the Aran stitches in a square, which we would say in the round technically, but as a square is not for the faint of heart. I always recommend if people can understand the stitches just going back and forth in rows at first, it might make the journey a little bit easier. But yeah, if you're not afraid of a learning curve and some tearing out and ripping and trying again, that's how we learn. I mean, nobody learns how to ride a bike without getting scuffed up a bit, right? But thankfully, you don't have to get scuffed up with yarn, maybe just a little bit frustrated, but yeah, I hope that goes but well. And you know how to reach me. I can, I need to respond to I think I need to respond to your question still. Um, been busy this morning. And Jazzy Jude, welcome. She says, prayers. Well, this person, I don't know either way, but prayers from San Diego. Thank you so much. Um, and Cynthia from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Wow. Well, I'm going to be heading to Lancaster, South Carolina. So that's interesting. Yeah, two different places. I love Lancaster and PA though. Beautiful place to go. And Hannah, thanks again for being there, my dear. And she's telling Wanda, yeah, that she's doing much better. Thank you for praying for her. She is doing much better, but please pray for, yeah, grandma. She's not feeling so hot. Yeah. Understatement. And yeah, you all are, this is great. And Hannah, you're busy. And Val, welcome. And Jazzy Juice says great vacation trip. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yeah, it's actually kind of a workcation, I guess you could say. But yeah, as far as what I'm planning on doing. And Trish, um, it says, okay, it says Trish is frogging on the braided cable square about 9 rows in. She's thinking of trying a different square, but is unsure which one to start with. Do you have any suggestions? Um, okay, okay, if you've done the 4 stitch cable, that's probably the easiest. Um, the braided cable's a little bit different. I'd have to look because I know you might want to try the Celtic weave, but that has its own challenges as well. They're all just a little bit different, just enough to look really different. I'd have to look at the list. I don't remember all the stitches that I used in that throw. Um, but if you can't get one, try the next one because sometimes even harder stitches for one person, another person can just get it in a snap, and then the ones that are easy for most people, a seasoned crocheter may struggle with. So it really depends on, how you learn these things. All right. And you can always email me and I can have a better look at it. All right. So, oh, thank you, Kelly. She says, smash that like button and subscribe to this beautiful young lady. You're being so kind, Kelly. Thank you. Yeah, if y'all haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I don't usually ask for that a lot. Um, just simply, I figure if you like what you see, you're going to subscribe. But yeah, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Um, We have, I'm skipping back. I missed a lot, so I'm trying to get back to where I left off. Got a lot of people saying hi to Hannah. We've got Jeanette from Nebraska. Woo. And Vima's Crochet says, how are you doing today? Doing well, doing well. A little burdened by some things in the news recently. Very burdened, but God will handle it, and I'm trusting Him for the future, for the situation. But yeah, doing well otherwise. And Sandra Harper, good morning to you from Southern California. And Jet One In, it's good to see your familiar name in there. And Brad's mom says, "Oh boy, Karen Hooley. Yeah, I'd love to try to get her to teach with the Watch channel, but still talking about it. She's come through. I don't know how much. She probably doesn't want me to say too much, but I know she's coming off of surgery herself, so her life is pretty busy, complicated, and it's just just like the rest of us." And Swati says, "I love Karen's designs. Yeah, she's the master of crochet socks. If you all have ever wanted to crochet socks, um, don't hold your breath waiting for me to do it because I know a friend of mine, Karen Hooley, has already done that and she does it beautifully. And yeah, and she loves doing it. I'm not so sure I would love doing those, but she is the master of those. I highly recommend her works on that. And Carlene Roberts, welcome to our chat. And Christine Murphy says, good day from a sunny but chilly Ohio. Yep, sounds like here, although the sun has gone hiding here. It's just a little bit chilly here. Um, and Donna, thank you for your kind words. Says, amen to that. It is a privilege to care for someone. Yes, it is. And Red Hook says, hello all. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, Red Hooked. Yeah, Felicia. All right, I finally found where I left off here. So let's get back up on track. We have Sandra Harper. Kathy, I read that already. Thank you, Sandra, for being there. And let's see. Da, 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 da. Uh, pardon me. Okay, we have Janice. Great to have you, Janice. And thank you for your prayers, Sandra, for Grandma. I appreciate that. For my mother-in-law, she would appreciate that too. Um, and let's see. Okay, so Val, okay, you were the one with the question about the Parkinson's. Yeah, I would start with something easy and go from there. I think the granny squares, if you've ever done those, like I said, would be easier, I think, to hit the openings. You don't have to worry about being super precise. And Jesus Joy 7, good morning to you. And she says, I pray all is well. Yep. I hope you and your husband are recovering well. Hope that leg of your husband is getting better and that you're feeling, you know, up up to snuff. And Janice, thank you so much. She says, I am a veteran. Thank you so much for your service. I so appreciate that. Anybody who has served. And yes, Ola, yeah. Uh, wow. And Jesus Joy says her husband was also in the army. Thank you for that. Keeping us safe, keeping us free. Ola Joe, you too, my friend. Wow, thank you. And Jazzy Jude, thank you. Y'all are just so encouraging. I so appreciate that. And Jane says, good afternoon, Bonnie, Hannah, and crafters from sunny Mars at Marblethorpe. I've just bought 3 books from Amazon. Well, thank you. Thank you for your kind service. I so appreciate you all being able to do that because that's the only reason why I can do what I do here is through your, kind support. Truly. Okay, where am I? Ah. Oh, I got something to show you. I'm gonna forget. Look, look what I finished. Do you remember this yarn that I got from Ollie's? This Bernat blanket yarn, which is still at Michael's. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Maybe they phased out certain colors, but I found this. It's usually like, I don't know, anywhere between $10 and $20 a skein. And I got this for $4.99. Don't run out there now because I'm sure it's all gone. I'm sure you all have bought it out. But it was at the Ollie's discount store. It's the first time I've been in there because I heard they had this. So I wanted to try it. So I used 5 of these. Each of these has 32 yards only. And so if you do the math a little bit, so about 150 yards. And I have a blanket that's huge. Look at this. Look at this. And yes, I am coming out with the tutorial. Very easy. Even if you've never knitted before, I think you could do this. Okay, so big, big, big. It's about 45 by about 56 or in that ballpark. And it is so incredibly huggable. This feels amazing. If you put it on the floor and you walk on it, it feels like you're walking on air. It's amazing. And it is, of course, 100% acrylic. Let me tell you a little bit more about these. Again, this is the first time I've used this yarn. Y'all probably have done it a lot. Okay, it's a jumbo size. It's a number 7 jumbo, 100% polyester, 32 yards. And let me show you what I used to knit this blanket. And I got these on Amazon. I didn't find these at a craft store. This is they're 25 millimeter. These are the same ones that I used on the broomstick top that I was wearing last week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look at last week's live, and the top that I'm wearing, I use this for the crochet broomstick lace, and it has, nice little wire between it. And anyway, you can get these on Amazon. I don't know if I have a link in the video description or not, but these are a real fun tool to have. The one thing, if you do make a blanket like this, one thing I warn you about is don't let all the weight of the blanket, which is, if you can imagine 5 of these, it's some weight. You don't want it to hang from the connectors here. Support the weight with your hands or something else, and so that you don't tear up your equipment. It's not invincible. Some people, there were some bad reviews on those needles. Now, I've made 2 projects with these and I love them. I love them. I want to do another one. But yeah, let me know if this is something you'd be interested in doing. But I had a ball doing this, and I only worked on it in the evenings, a couple hours in the evenings, over 3 evenings, and that was it. I started this on Tuesday. I finished it last night. No, I started it on Monday. I didn't do any of it on Wednesday, but I finished it up last night. It took me like maybe 30 minutes as I was recording to finish it up. So be on the lookout for quick and easy knit throw. It's coming. And it's coming soon, probably within the month. So I'm hoping to get that as soon as I edit down the video. Right at the pattern is it's really funny. Um, for years I've been intimidated to learn how to knit. And several years ago, my Russian friend who owns the yarn store So Original, which is now in Columbia, Maryland, this is when she was still in Only. She sat me down and said, "No, I'm going to show you how to do this, and you're going to see it's really easy." And she taught me through continental style, and I finished the hat within a day because it was so much easier to learn than crochet, and I think that's partly because I already had the crochet skills, but there are a lot of different nuances, of course, to learning how to knit, but to do something like this, you're gonna know you have to learn 2 stitches, and that's it. Well, 2 stitches, the cast on and the bind off, and I do that really slowly in all of my videos, and in this in particular, I was very slow about how to do that, and you're really using your fingers to pull through a lot of the loops. Now, one thing I will say about making a blanket like this, don't sit down and do it all at one time. First of all, it's not going to be good for your hands. Okay. Whenever you crochet or knit with the any kind of blanket yarn, whether it's the thinner blanket yarn or the super jumbo stuff, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Set a limit and then put it aside. If you must craft, do something different because it will make your hands ache. And if you've already got like rheumatoid arthritis or even just a little bit of beginnings of arthritis, you don't want to spend a lot of time with this. So for me, doing it over 3 days was fine. I mean, I didn't, maybe an hour at the most, each evening. And it doesn't take that long. You're talking 32 yards, which is not much yardage at all, compared to some of my other crocheted Aran throws, which take up to and sometimes more than 4,000 yards. I mean, this is super quick. So anyway, that is coming and coming soon. Um, oh, I left my book out in the other room. But anyway, okay, so let's keep it going here. We have knit, purl, and squirrel. What Granny D. What a great name. Good to have you in the chat there. And yeah, that is a cool name. Okay, Hannah sent me a question. Do I have any patterns for men's neckties? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Um, if you're looking for a bow tie, I know somebody who has a great pattern that's crocheted is Doris Chan. If you want to look up Doris Chan and necktie, see if there's one that you can find. I think it might have, I don't know if it's her private pattern, like personally owned, or if it's an interweave pattern, but she's the only one that I know that's done something like that. But as far as neckties, I'm sorry, I don't have men in my life that wear them much. They wear them when they're absolutely necessary, if that makes sense. So usually funerals and weddings is when the ties come out around here. Sorry, I just haven't made anything like that. Can I show the blue scarf behind me? Oh, yeah, yes. And for Swati, absolutely. I'd do it for any of you all, but okay, thank you, Swati. This is okay, this is let me show you. So that gives me a second to put a plug in. So yes, I am wearing the Phoenix shawl because it's cold in here. Okay, so let me show you a picture of what this looks like in fingering weight. Of course, it's going to be way back here. Okay, so this is originally the design Rahab scarf. Okay, it's designed as a thinner scarf using fingering weight yarn. And so it's one of, was it 10? Yeah, 10 scarves in here. These all feature fingering weight, and a lot of them feature hand-dyed yarn from indie dyers that I know personally in my area. But my point in the book, I talk about this a little bit, and I've talked about it here a lot. If you don't like working with fingering weight yarn, that's okay. You can use whatever you have in your stash. And this is using instead of a number one, I used a number four weight yarn. Actually, it was yarn that Hannah rescued from a thrift store for me. It was a very exquisite type of yarn, even has milk protein in it. Yeah, isn't that weird? Milk protein, um, uh, merino wool, silk, and some other things that are combined. This is a really nice feeling scarf. So yeah. So this is not. It can be a super scarf. You could consider it more like a wrap or a stole, but just to show that you can make these scarves and the shawls and everything, you can upsize the yarn all you want. I mean, as long as you don't mind the chunkier feel. And I love using these plain scarves and churning them into stoles because this one actually I keep around because I do grab it when there's a little bit of a chill, when you don't want to pull a full-blown sweater on, but you just want to just something on your shoulders to ward off the chill. And that's what I'm doing here. And it is a little bit chilly here. So Hannah, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead. Let me see. Do I have the yarn? I'll show you the yarn that I used. Let me go get my book too. I feel like Steve in Blue's Clues, running back and forth, back to my thinking chair. All right. This is the yarn that Hannah found. I looked online. This is discontinued yarn. This is what I used for this project here. This is discontinued yarn. You may find it online, but let me tell you what's in it. 40% extra fine merino wool, 30% microfiber, 20% milk protein, and 10% silk. Each of these is 50 grams or 109 yards, which is not a lot of yarn. And online, these were in the $20 and up range. Hannah got the whole bag. I mean, she got like 25 of these in the bag for about $5. So yeah, you do have to be careful when you get yarn at thrift stores because sometimes you just have to be careful. But this yarn was fabulous. So sometimes you hit it lucky, like we did. I've got some other stuff that she's given me, found beautiful, beautiful yarn. I can't design with it because you can't go out and get the yarn. I like to design with things that if people want to do the exact same thing, I want them to be able to do the exact same thing. But yeah, so this again was a really nice discovery. And thing is about natural fibers, if you find them like at Salvation Army or thrift stores, just be careful because sometimes they could be infested with moss or carpet beetles or other kinds of pests. Yeah. And also, even depending on where the yarn was stored, you don't want to ever store your yarn in a damp, dark place because that tends to. I have a whole video on this if you're looking at learning more about this, but you also want to be careful of molds, you know, and mildew. You don't want that to happen to your beautiful fibers. Yes, you're right, Hannah. She says my thinking chair is a lot less comfortable than Steve's. Probably right, since mine's made of wood and his is a cushion chair. Yes, and yeah, it's funny because yeah. Speaking, I don't know if y'all remember what we're talking about, but being a grandma and both of our grandsons like watching Steve. We haven't introduced them to the newer stuff, but just the old vintage Blues Clues that my kids sometimes watched. We didn't watch it a lot, but we didn't do much TV when our kids were little. And thank God there was not computer or internet, none of that stuff. I'm so glad I was not distracted by any of that. Not even a crochet business. There was none of that. So nothing to distract. And it would have been a real challenge. Okay. So Jeannie from Proverbs 31 woman, can you make a present shawl? I'm not sure I understand the question, Jeannie, but uh, okay. Let's just go on through here. Let me know if you want to try to clarify that so I can better understand. And all right. It's just great to see you all chatting with each other. I'm gonna, skip some of that in the chat, but that is really cool to see. Um, yeah, and again, all you thanking one another for your service. Thank you, thank you. Can't do that enough for sure. Oh, thank you, Wanda. She likes my baby blanket. I'm finally getting to your comment. Um, oh, come on, thing. All right. Thank you, Alana and Colleen. Okay, we've talked. Okay, we've talked about that. Yay. And Knit Pearl and Squirrel also saying thanks to all who served. Absolutely. And thank you, Amy. She likes the blanket. And oh, thank you, Kelly. She likes my shawl. You all are so sweet. And Nicole, thank you again. Thanks. Yeah. And and Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D says that's my favorite color for baby things. Yay. Just kind of a multicolor. Thank you, Denise. And oh, okay. As far as having tutorials on the channel, Ola Joe says, Kelly, yes, I do have some tutorials on my channel, not as intricate as Bonnie. So I have a playlist of all my tutorials. Thanks for asking. Yeah, y'all, please check out Ola Joe's channel. She's got a fun, playful way about her, even with the shorts and things. And I think some of you would really appreciate. So, okay, thanks, Trish. She said I had sent a second email about the order of the Afghan. Yeah, should I make them in order? Are they in order of difficulty? Yeah, that's a good question. As far as the order, Trish, I have to say I don't remember because that pattern is probably 8 years old or more. So I don't remember what I was thinking back then. So that was pre-pandemic. So that's like another life ago. So I'd have to go back and look at it. Uh oh, okay. Mary says my tension is either too tight or too loose. In that case, Mary, maybe I read the question wrong earlier. If it's too tight or too loose, you need to work on your yarn hold on your non-dominant hand. I think that's the main culprit in that case. And thank you, Kelly, again for your kind reminder there. Um, okay, got that. We have Carlene Roberts. Thank you. She likes the Narnia colorway. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And I think some of them though, I kind of wish the white part would not have been as big. I wish it would the colors would have changed a little quicker early on, but I think that's just the nature of working. We have the smaller rounds and then each round gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Um, that's just the way it goes. So even let's go back to that. So what you could even do if you don't like too much of the white in the center, you could even pull a lot of that white off of the yarn ball so that you're not using it. And then so you have a little bit of white and then it turns more to pink and the other colors. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can certainly manipulate the way the colors come out on this. But it's really fun. And I want to say one thing too about the holes, because I've heard some people say, oh, it's bad to have holes in a baby blanket. Well, actually, I disagree with that. Especially as the child grows, this is going to be just as warm as if it were just, plain crochet like this part. And when the child gets a little bit older, and if they get attached to the blanket, they love to put their fingers and weave them in and out of the holes. It's just a fun tactile thing that they enjoy doing. How do I know this? Well, I've given blankets away like this, and this is what the moms say. They say he won't let go of the blanket. He sits there for hours and just running his fingers, through the holes and winding it around his hand and stuff, and he just loves it. So that's how I know. So don't be afraid of holes in the baby blanket. So and yeah, so my 2 cents worth. I know there are other people have different opinions, and that's okay. We're allowed to have other opinions about this. Okay, crescent shawl. Thank you, Hannah. Can you make a crescent shawl? Thank you for clarifying that. That was probably AI changing that, or the autocorrect, which is basically an AI form. I'll have to look into that. I do have some gorgeous, gorgeous yarn for some new shawls that I'm gonna hopefully start working on this summer while I'm in the South, in the deep South, in the hottest time of the year, serving family members. So I don't want to have anything hot on my lap. So I'll be working on some lighter weight shawls. I'll have to think about doing a crescent shawl. And from M, it says, how long does it take to make a rectangle of the Navigator Lapgan? That really depends on your crochet skill. Each of those panels is a different stitch. Um, I think the arrow panel goes very quickly if you understand the stitch. It's a quick, easy stitch to learn. That one goes very quickly. And the other ones that I used are mostly, double crochets, rows of double crochet, single crochet, and a variation. Um, I think I can't just give you a number because I don't know how fast you crochet, what the skill level is. But I would think you could do one panel in a weekend, fairly easily. If you're an intermediate crocheter. And from Mary, it says, what pattern would you recommend for a shawl for myself for my daughter's wedding? She's getting married in March in Wisconsin. Burr. Yes. Uh what ooh, mm, that's a I would recommend I, I would recommend something along the lines of a stole, maybe, because this is something you could wrap around yourself, or take off. But you can. I just find the stole kind of things very warm. Depending on the color, you may even want to consider having a little bit of fun since it's a special occasion. Making it out of maybe alpaca or something really uh, elegant and warm. Also, keep in mind if you want to make a shawl, if you want something lighter that looks like lighter weight, it's not as heavy as something like this. That mohair is probably the warmest fiber, one of the warmest that I'm aware of, like that exist. And it's very lightweight and cotton candy like, very ethereal, and it can be very beautiful. You can put sequences in there. You can. You can add beads if you want, all sorts of things. Uh, or you can find some, I'm looking at some yarn that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's patents. It's really good yarn, but I bought it at the Dollar Tree probably 10 years ago. It's beautiful. It has mohair. It's a blend of mohair polyester, and it has these beautiful reflective sequences that would be so elegant and pretty, to make. So I don't know. I would have fun with that one. Um, I would have fun with that one. I think a nice, beautiful stole can be very elegant. Do I, Mary Witt says, do you recommend hand washing a chunky baby blanket after finishing? I've never washed my baby blankets after finishing. I don't understand why people wash everything after they finish it. Maybe if you could fill me in on that, I would appreciate that. I wouldn't. If you, like, for example, we take our shoes off when we come into the house. We don't have shoes anywhere in our house except at the front door where you take them off. We don't have cats in our house. My daughter-in-law and my son have a cat next door, but that's in a separate part of the house, and the cat stays there. We don't have cats. We don't have dogs or any pets currently inside the house. So there are no animal allergens to worry about. So, maybe if you have a house and a lot of animals, you might want to wash it. But I don't wash things before I gift them. So, if I'm missing something here, please feel free to let me know what I'm missing. But yeah, I don't understand why people do that. And if you're using a yarn, kind of, like polyester or something like this, you can just wash and dry it. I wouldn't hand wash it. I would just wash it in the washing machine. I have a front loader, which is easier. I wouldn't put it in a twister kind of a machine at all. If you were going to put it in the machine, maybe put it in a big sweater bag, stick it in the washer, stick it in the dryer, should be fine. If it's 100% polyester. What brand of alpaca yarn would you be talking about if someone wanted to make a shawl? Ooh, well, is it Barocco? No, I think it's I think it's Cascade Yarns. Cascade Yarns has 100%. It's called pure alpaca. That's a name that's very reliable. I actually have made 3 alpaca ponchos from that. There's also a um, ultra alpaca by Barocco, but that's a blend of alpaca and wool. It has a tad bit rough feel to it to me. It's good yarn, but if I had the choice, I would go with the Cascade Pure Alpaca because it's 100% alpaca. Very, very. It's a thinner number 4 yarn. Very, very, very nice to use. Uh, yes, Hannah. I got yes, 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 yes. All right. So I hope that's helpful. Um, yeah, and you can always email me. I mean, that's a what do you call it? That's one that's always on the market. I enjoyed getting some alpaca that was from a local buyer at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival years ago. I enjoyed that a lot. It did shed a bit. It wasn't as tightly wound as maybe the pure alpaca is by Cascade. But again, if you can't just put those in the washer or in the dryer. Those you have to be very careful with and hand wash. And you don't want to agitate them or they will felt, as I found out. Okay. I think I'm getting towards the end here. And Margita, hello. Glad to have you in our chat today. Infinitely Zero, thank you for Anessa. Thank you for being here. Hi, says hi everyone. Busy working currently. Well, I hope your day goes well. And oh, thank you. Okay, I'm glad that helped. Knit, purl, and squirrel with Granny D about the difference between the inline and the tapered hooks. Yeah, it's not something that I knew, when I first started crocheting, but the more I learned, it's kind of what happens. And Mimi wants to know what's a good cotton yarn to crochet with that will not shed. Um, it depends on what you're making, but if you can find yarn, it's not an absolute must, but if you can find some that is mercerized, which is kind of like treated a little bit and will be a lot smoother, maybe have a little bit more of a sheen to it. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're making. As long as you're not making dishcloths, if you want making something to wear, you get something if you can that's kind of mercerized. That'll help with the shedding. And okay, and Mary says about the hooks. Just FYI, the hooks at Hobby Lobby with the plastic holders, the hook can come out. Yeah, that's too bad. I've never had that happen with my Susan Bates, and I use them probably as much as anybody. But yeah, yeah, I don't. I've tried some of their hooks. They're okay, but my muscle memory is it just gets used to what it gets used to, and it really likes the Susan Bates, and I do like. There's another brand that I've shown you in the past that work well too. I'm afraid to use them because they're so expensive. I don't want to lose them. Um, okay, Carlene Roberts has a good point on tight crocheting. Says for too tight crochet, also make sure you're not pulling or yanking the first loop too tight or working too close to the hook head. Yes, yes, and I think that I really, and I'm not trying to pick on one brand or style over another, but I think that does tend to happen because the tapered hook, that area tapers, and then which can make for smaller chains and all sorts of things. I've even made samples with different style hooks, and the gauge varies depending on the hook style that you use. Um, all right. We have Trish in the chat. Hey, Trish. I kept thinking that is my cell phone as my laptop rings from my phone too. Yeah, it could be me. Uh, yep. And yep. And Colleen, thanks again for being there. She says, oh, you are so kind. She says, I'm a genius. I'll have to tell my kids you said that. Thank you. They'll think it's funny, but I appreciate your kind comment. And it says in Fort Myers, Florida, 45 years. Hope all is well with you and yours. Oh, thank you. I know where you guys are. Um, my mom and dad, my mom used to work for a lady at a children's nursery school, and they retired up in Fort Myers. And we used to hear a lot about Fort Myers when I lived down in Hialeah for so many years. Of course, that's been 30, no, that's been over 40 years ago. Oh gosh, 45 years ago? Stop counting. Don't do the math. Don't do the math. It's not helpful. um, I could do the math, but yeah, well, you think, I don't know about you all, but I remember what it felt like when I was 15, and I don't feel like it's any different, except maybe body hurts in different places. But it's just so weird to where we used to think in days and weeks, and then occasionally, yeah, oh, that was so many years ago. But we can say, oh, that was 4.5 decades ago. Oh my goodness. There's probably stuff in here that the Smithsonian could use. And Red Hook says, I'll see you in Pittsburgh. Oh, absolutely. I hope to see you there, Red Hooked. Um, I'm sorry to hear about your brother-in-law, Kelly. And you guys are so good, just praying and greeting each other. Well, let me go ahead. Let's see. I just want to see if there's anybody I haven't said hey. Oh, there's two things I forgot to tell you, and then I have something to read to you. I forgot to show you this. I have two videos that came out this week. They're short, and I'm talking about this thing. It's called a knitting thimble, or Norwegian knitting thimble, but the packaging just said knitting thimble. And I'm not going to even demonstrate this because I'm going to let you watch the videos, but I have one on how this works in knitting. And I pose the question, do you think it would be helpful to use in crocheting? So definitely let me know on that video on crocheting what you think. I'm still not convinced either way on the crocheting just yet. I only tried it one time, but I may try it more in the future if I get to the point where I'm changing colors. But which reminds me, I'm going to be coming out with another class. I haven't given it an absolute date yet, but it'll probably be probably be like the third Tuesday in June for my watch family. And my watch.bonniebcrochet.com. I didn't talk all about that, but you can look it up in the video description below. It's basically a paid subscriber channel. And I so appreciate you all for your added support there, and lots of perks for you guys when you sign up, or being a member. But I'm hoping to do a Zoom class. I'm having to hold it a little bit loosey goosey just because of travel and just because of health of family members right now that we're kind of watching closely. So there's a chance that I may have to cancel it, but I am hoping to do a class on changing yarn color while working cables. Yeah, so this is going to be the deep end of the pool where the sharks are. Okay, swimming with sharks, working cables and changing yarn color. Why am I teaching the watch class on such a thing? Well, because I may have a project coming out where I do just that. I'm changing yarn colors, having a different background color than the cable itself. So stay tuned on that, looking at possibly the third, and I will be in touch with you all, looking at the third Tuesday in June. Again, pending situation with family and all. Okay. And if you're not a member of the watch channel, there's always time to join. You can join it just like that. And if it's not something that is for you, you can get out of it just as quickly. Okay. You can go month by month, or you can, buy the year at a discount. It's really up to you. All right. Okay, Phil was saying, okay, look into Juniper Moon for alpaca too. A bit expensive though. Oh yeah, I love anything Juniper Moon does. Phil, I made a dress out of their lace, silk, and merino blend. It's fabulous stuff. But yes, it's not for the budget here. um, yeah, and the one with mohair and sequins. Okay, it's 10 after, but I'm going to show you anyway. They don't manufacture this any longer. Okay. And this had, let me tell you that it's 68% acrylic, a lot of acrylic. Okay. 14% polyester, 9% mohair, 9% wool. So there's not a lot of wool, not a lot of mohair. But look, can you see the sequence? You probably can't. You really need a lot of light to get this to sparkle. Okay, it's starting to sparkle there a little bit. It doesn't translate well in video, but this has just beautiful, beautiful sequencing all throughout. And they're real tiny. They're not these big gaudy things. They're just a beautiful hint. But yeah, I got this years ago. Um, I got 2 boxes of this. It was at the Dollar Tree, so I thought, why not? It's just kind of sat there. I'm waiting for the right project. We'll see, but it can't go up against the skin because it's polyester, and I don't do polyester well against the skin. All right. Nessa says, if I wash it, it's Red Heart Super Saver. Oh, to soften it after I finish the product, or I wash it if it's wearable and it's too stiff to see if it'll soften it up. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Nessa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that with the Red Heart Super Saver, but I haven't used Red Heart Super Saver for a baby blanket in, I don't know, eons. I really like I really do like the mandala yarn by Lion Brand, and that's very soft. So yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense if you're washing it to soften it. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Oh, okay. And Carlene Roberts says We Crochet has alpaca. Yeah, there's a lot of different, yeah, a lot of different ones out there. I was just mentioning the one by Cascade Yarns because it's a staple in our business. It's been there a long time. It's very good, and it's probably going to be there a long time. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, and I wanted to read something to you all. Like I said, I I steer clear of politics and everything, but um, it's been a rough week. Um, it's been an interesting week. There was a tragedy. I won't go into the details, but it happened in D.C., outside of the Jewish History Museum, and I'm devastated by it. To be honest with you, the level of evil is unbelievable, and it's 35-minute ride from my house. This is going on. So I just wanted to read something, and I'm reading from Spurgeon. And I don't know these individuals, but they were believers in the Lord. They were one of them was a Messianic Jew, and the other one a Christian, and they were planning on becoming man and wife very young, had their whole life ahead of them. And they were trying to help. They were trying to help. So I'm going to read this. It's just a good reminder for me. I need this. So I'm thinking maybe there's somebody out there who needs the reminder. And And the flag behind me, people in the past have asked me to please take it away, and this is staying, just to let you know. This is staying, and it's to remember this young couple, is to remember a lot of other bad things, but it's staying, um, just to let you know. And if that's terribly offensive, I'm really sorry. Um, uh, it's staying. Okay, so this is what I wanted to read. This is from one of my favorite devotionals by C.H. Spurgeon, a man who lived a couple of centuries ago. And he says, this is based on 2 Peter 1:4. Let me see. Okay. And he writes, the promises are precious. They comfort us in distress. Give children of God a divine promise and let them appropriate it, and you cannot make their house or their heart dark. A promise believed is a sun in the soul, a song in the heart. It is marrow to the bones and rejoicing to the spirit. You have the promises, have heaven and earth as your heritage. You will ride in the heights of the earth. You will draw honey from the rock and oil from the flinty rock. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. That's based on Deuteronomy 33:27. You shall dwell in safety in a land of grain and new wine, and the heavens shall drop down dew. Deuteronomy 33:28. The promises of God not only comfort believers in adversity, but also strengthen them in service. Let the worker who is serving God but who is depressed under personal weakness receive this cheering promise. I will certainly be with you. Fear not, I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's from Isaiah 41:10. These promises elevate the soul. People who do not have God's promises to enrich them may accumulate gold and silver, but they are earthbound with their possessions. They try to be content with corn, wine, and oil, but these things only satisfy our animal nature. Too often people grovel and hoard all the more as they increase in wealth. But those who grasp the promises are uplifted, for their minds rise to the hand from which every good gift and every perfect gift is poured. Walking by faith in the promise of an unseen God, we are elevated in judgment and taste and become a better people. I hope that encourages you today. Didn't mean to darken the moment at all, but just want to leave with some positive, real truth encouragement. Thank you all for being here, for making my Fridays wonderful. God bless. Bye bye.